Hello solo leveling fans and welcome back to a new video. Real quick before we get started, I just wanted to shout out today's comment of the video, and it's this one right here. Thank you so much for all the love and support and basically all the positivity that you guys have been showing to this channel. We're growing at an incredible rate, and I just wanted to give a big shout out to all to everyone whether you guys are here on YouTube or on the Discord server. Speaking of the Discord server, by the way, we have a lovely Discord server accepting guild applicants, so if you want to go ahead and join the guild, come say hi to our Discord server. I'll leave a link down below in the description, and all you have to do is go to the guild apply channel right here, answer these few questions, attach or submit your application here in the applications channel, and I'll drop you a thank you message meaning that I saw your application. It's currently being reviewed. There is a place for everyone, whether you're free to play, pay to win, it doesn't matter. We have a place for everyone in our community. Speaking of our community, we have a lovely community when it comes down to our general chat here. Everybody's so active. We speak about everything. Everybody helps out a ton, and honestly I'm very proud of this community right here. We also have giveaways, we have announcements when we go live and stream and do things like that, redeem codes, and obviously the guild application. So we'll be seeing you here, guys. Don't forget, if you want to place in our guild, go ahead and join. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon. Now today's video is going to be about the top 5 teams or comps that you guys should be investing your resources in, because these comps are definitely going to be some of the strongest comps or strongest teams that you should be running, especially because all the content and all the meta is revolving around these units. These teams are basically going to be super strong, and you should definitely be investing your resources. Hopefully this video will basically help you narrow down all the units that you should be investing your resources in, and not scatter it out across multiple units and they all become weak. So yeah, the first team we're going to be talking about here is obviously going to be the full water team. It shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. This team right here, those 3 girls are absolutely fantastic, whether that's being Alicia, Jiwoo, or Mei Lin. Alicia is obviously currently the queen of DPS and queen of burst, with her core attack doing insane amounts of damage. Her ultimate is doing absolutely fantastic stuff as well, and you can't really go wrong with upgrading Alicia and having her as one of the best units that you guys can basically have on your team. So yeah, she is by far one of the strongest DPSs, a very solid unit to depend on, can fit in multiple comps in the future that I'll be talking about, and overall she is basically one of the units, if not the most important unit in my opinion currently in the game. So yeah, make sure to build her right, make sure to invest in her. Now Jiwoo again is an excellent breaker. She's supposedly now a free-to-play unit. There was the event that came around, obviously giving us the summer skin and free copies of her. Sadly, I wasn't around for the whole event, so I only managed to get the skin but not some of her copies. And obviously, again, our girl Mei Lin Fisher, she's a great support that buffs both these girls up. She gives basically a lot of value when it comes down to Alicia, as she buffs the strongest hunter based off her max HP. And one of her abilities right here is the up ability, and this ability is so strong, especially in the Workshop of Brilliant Light, since if you go ahead and read what it does here, when this skill hits, it removes the target's shield. So things that like the Vulcan shield, when that pops, all you have to do is just call in Mei Lin for her support ability, and you should be a-okay. So yeah guys, overall this team is very strong, and there's different places that you can use it, not just the Workshop of Radiant Light. It's very strong for other content when it comes down to the story missions, and it's very well balanced. As you can see here, all 3 of them have their own unique stats. DPS, you have a breaker, and you have support. So overall, a very strong team. Now the second comp we're going to be talking about here is going to be losing the support and opting for more damage, and with that basically we're going to be replacing Mei Lin with Mei. Mei is an excellent unit when it comes down to overall damage. As you guys have seen and tried her out for yourself, she's currently an insane unit. Again, top 3 DPS by far. She's really strong. She depends a lot on her ultimate ability, that is true, but again she does dish out an insane amount of damage and an insane amount of burst. She's very reliable in the Workshop of Radiant Light as well. You can definitely use her to shred Vulcan and use her on some of the floors as well. She is an absolute menace, and I highly suggest that you guys build her right, because she has potential to carry you out through the most of the content. And obviously with the addition of the new encore missions and instance dungeons, being weak to wind and the battlefield of trials, like I said, it really is a unit that you cannot go wrong with, especially with all the content that's being added to the game that is revolving around wind currently. So yeah, that would be our second option right here. Alicia, Meirei, and Jiwoo for break. Opting for more damage obviously and less support. That is if you need to go the more DPS or the DPS path when it comes down to your comp, instead of that supportive role there at the end. If you guys don't have Jiwoo, do not worry. You could always just replace Jiwoo with another excellent breaker, and that is Wu Jinchul. Now this comp right here again is one of my favorite. Again, this could work in Workshop of Brilliant Light. This could work in the current Encore and Instance dungeons. This could also work in a lot of the other situations and like other places like the Battlefield of Trials, Battlefield of Time. You guys name it. This comp is absolutely fantastic, and it's by far one of the best comps that you can run when it comes down to your team basically. So yeah, Wu being buffed recently has become one of the best breakers, and he's been a solid pick, especially if you get some advancements going on him. The man can shield, the man can deal like insane amount of break damage, and he honestly got buffed so much that he became a must-have unit at this point, and luckily we all get him for free. So again, you won't really need to pull for him too much. I believe get him to like around A1 to A2, and he should be a solid unit or a solid breaker in that sense. So yeah, build him correctly, give him some good artifacts, show some love to him. I did make a whole build guide around him. I'll leave a link to that in the description if you want to check it out. But yeah, that will be our third comp that we can definitely go for and definitely apply. Now the next comp we're going to be talking about is the full DPS route. If this is the route that you decide to take and there is no turning back here, I highly suggest going for Alicia, Meirei, and Cha. These three girls are very, very good when it comes down to doing a ton of DPS. Now I know so that you guys can change this around, obviously depending on how strong your units are. If for example you are missing out on one of these units, you can always replace them. So I know for example a lot of you do not own Meirei still. You can always replace Meirei with Yo So-yeon. Still another great option, because she depends a lot on defense spin, and you'll be shredding through the bosses much easier. So that is a full DPS team if you are like in no need of breakers or supports. This is the comp I highly suggest going for, and definitely you should go for this one right here. Now an honorable mention before I talk about the last comp here, and that is going to be the fire team. The full fire team is absolutely crazy. So Choi and Emma, they have their uses honestly, and last patch they were super meta, especially with the introduction of the new Battlefield of Trials, the challenge Battlefield of Trials that resets every 7 days. This was the team that you would have seen obviously, but since the release of the new Encore missions and the new wind adjustments, this team has not been as strong. However, it's still a very good team to pay attention to and always have it in the back pocket, because still there are some Encore missions and instance dungeons that rely heavily on fire damage and are very weak to fire damage, especially with fire and light. So I would highly suggest going for this comp, but also you can do adjustments like going ahead and replacing Emma with Bakir or Choi with Cha. Again, it all depends on what you guys have. These are the best units that you should be going for. This team is the honorable mention that I wanted to talk about here today, and that brings us basically to the last comp that we're going to be talking about. Now the last comp that we're going to be talking about here is going to be the light comp, and it's to no surprise that this comp right here is an insane comp, mainly because of how balanced it is and how strong these three units are. Obviously we know that Bake is going to be getting a buff. He's going to be receiving a buff in the next patch. Cha is one of the best DPSs, top 3 in my opinion. Min Byung is arguably the best support. It's between him and Maylin. Obviously there's not really that many supports that can out support min. Basically, the guy is absolutely insane. He can give heals, he charges your ultimate gauges, he increases your crit and damage overall. So overall, this team right here is again a great investment, and they do help out a ton when it comes down to the encore missions and the instance dungeons that have been released again. And obviously min can fit into a lot of other different comps that you can use here. You can use them with the water team, you can use them around with the wind team as a support, and until obviously the release of Hanseme and Gogenhi. But that brings me to another point, basically, or another it's something that I'm really thinking about right now. This could probably mean that the light variant is going to be receiving a ton of content, especially with buffs on things like Baekhyunho and Silvermane. That makes me think that the next content could be revolving around light and dark. So make sure to be investing in these units, guys, and to sum everything up for you, basically, if you're looking for units to help you out with the Workshop of Brilliant Light, it would be these four right here. So Alicia, Jiwoo, Mere, and Woo Jin Chol. If you're looking for absolute DPS, you go for Alicia, Mere, Yosoyeon, and Cha. Obviously, depending on which units you have. If you're looking for supports in the sense that you're basically looking for somebody that really buffs out the damage and buffs out your team, then you're going to be looking for Meilin or Min Byung to help out the total damage output of the team. And these two units are absolutely fantastic. So yeah, I hope this guide helped you a little bit, and it narrowed out the units that you should be spending on. It obviously caters towards all the players and what they need, and I know that you're not going to be strong overnight. It's going to take some work and time, but like I said, this right here is like a rundown of basically everything that is happening and how meta these units are right now. Obviously, some are way better than others, like Alicia and Mere and Jiwoo and Jinchul. I think these four units are currently the must-have units, as maybe arguably Meilin for the Workshop of Brilliant Light. But again, I think these four units are a must-have if you're trying to basically get stronger and farm those artifacts in the Workshop of Brilliant Light. But with that being said, guys, I think that brings us to the end of our video. If you guys enjoyed, don't forget to hit that like, comment, and subscribe. As always, thank you so much for watching. Happy leveling. Peace.